moving on from Wild Space and kind of learning how things are over here via chat the most. Once I heard about the idea of BridgeMakers and noticed about that, kind of brought some kind of like a sparkle to me. It's like it's really nice just to hear that there's something more to share and to have here in social VR.
I got my start here making this world. I got really, really invested with the group, and I wanted to help out.
Everything I've received from BridgeMakers has been growth and knowledge and perspective and exactly all of those things.
I guess the perspective was that just learning what it felt like being a part of a community. I hadn't really been a part of a group before that was similar to BridgeMakers. I guess just having that whole new level of connection and empathy. I feel like I really learned how to connect with people and what it means to be a part of a community. Kind of like being a tree that plays its role in the garden.
What comes to mind first for me is to do, especially with dealing with other groups and VR, social VR chat, all that. It's just the whole concept of sitting with, especially sitting with like emotions, especially the more challenging ones. Figure out what they're telling you.
In terms of growth, it has become easier to actually, even outside of BridgeMakers, outside of groups, actually tell people things that bother me.
I've gained this awareness of the group creature, the moods of the individual becoming this collective. So when I'm facilitating, I'm noticing that a lot more and how I'm able to impact it and notice the individual as well as the group, and how to check in with people non-verbally, so that not just so that they're staying attentive, but also that they're not disconnecting from the experience.
The ability to reflect upon my own emotions and comment on them without judgment for myself.
I think a new perspective that I've learned from BridgeMakers and the connections here, it's how incredibly powerful the generative world can be and what an incredible teaching tool it can be both interpersonally and academically.
The community tends to form and start to percolate in a way that, you can kind of sit back and sample who's who and what people are partaking in, and you get a variety of things going on.
When we were all sitting around the fire at one point, and there was a little bit of a misunderstanding about, interpretations of the world and the fact that these worlds are going away. It wasn't just that there was the conflict, it was the way that it was resolved. It was really beautiful that, it was the issue was able to be identified. They went over and they talked about it, just them, just party 1 and 2, and then they were able to come back and actually share the results of that conversation with the group and just be like, hey, you know what, this was a respect thing, this was a, I want to honor these feelings and acknowledge that I, have had my perspective changed, and I think that's a really, really powerful tool.
Seeing the bridge, and when I say bridge, seeing like our group connect with more groups, and beyond that, seeing our groups connect with us. So there's a lot of stuff that a lot of resources that we give, and that we have. Excuse the pun here, but the crossing of the bridge here, that'd be great to see.
It's always good to see new faces, and it brings with it new thoughts and ideas, and can go so far as to be the catalyst for growth in the community in general.
I would say my journey with BridgeMakers has been seeing new things. And I think the journey through seeing new sites and new people and new worlds people have created and hearing the perspectives is what I believe improves my experience the most.
We don't solve problems. We're not a therapy group, but we are a place that allows people to train and experience their emotions in ways that they don't get the opportunity to do anywhere else on VR chat. And these difficult emotions are typically always just pushed away. They're never acknowledged, or if they are brought up, then you're a problem for bringing them up, even though you are experiencing them. Building bridges here. I think it's really cool what we're trying to do with that.
So, one of my favorite events has to be Music Hop. It's an event where we basically share a song that represents an emotion. So that could be sadness, anger, worry, frustration. And we kind of use music in an artistic way to express how we're feeling. That is probably one of my favorite events that I would always go to.
The very first BridgeMaker event that I went to was Music Hop, and I wasn't exactly sure how to participate. Spoke with the staff members, but essentially, the more I spoke with people on staff and moderators, the more I was better able to accommodate, like adjust and not just adjust, but assimilate, exercise, like relay the the wisdom I'd acquired in BridgeMakers to my relationships outside of it.
I find the reflective talking one to be invaluable. Like, now that I'm using that a lot more in my day-to-day, it's hard to explain when you talk to yourself without a judgment call, or how you take it from the way people see it as opposed to your feelings that are attached to it. It gives you that breathing room and that separation.
That's a real important part of us being people that needs to be valued and seen and loved. I think it would be really incredible just as a creator and as somebody who really does see the value in the process.
It's such a great place to kind of get connected with people that, care a little more deeply than your general community when it comes to kind of the structure and the actual social aspects, not just socialize. It's a great place if you really want to dive deep and, get to know some things rather than just hang out with some folks.
Welcome to our beehive, where you have to take a part in helping create the honey. And yeah, we're all going to share efforts and collaborate together. And we're going to pollinate flowers and gather some nectar and, do things that honeybees do together.
Judging, so I guess the first thing is kind of what I'd like to do with everyone. I'd say, it's good to see you.
It's okay to not be okay here. That is that may be kind of cryptic, but that's what really spoke to me. That the vibe, that just permission to not have to perform, socially, the whole time he was here.
This is a group that teaches you things that are valuable in so many different ways, in so many different aspects of life. Not just in leadership, in being a human, in socializing, navigating conflict.
I think first and foremost, I would explain to them that BridgeMakers is a place where you're going to take your time and breathe. And at first, it may not feel like a easy thing to do, or it may sound too easy. But in all honesty, after that, you're going to learn a lot and you're going to meet a lot of interesting people. And I think that is very invaluable.
We are a group that tries to show people intricate and unique ways that those connections can form in experiences that you probably wouldn't be familiar with. If you're looking to get better at forming connections, building bridges with all folks, people who are new and people who have been around for a long time, the skills we offer can be a great guide and a journey on how to handle some of these things.
This is a safe, wonderful place that has been built by safe, wonderful, caring people, and it is something to be loved and respected.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, BridgeMakers.